this brings me to some definitions. In fact, the definition of physician. From my 1865 Dictionary of Medical Terms, the physician, this term, and I have, I just saw this slide at the Northwest from your presentation, didn't I? Right. This is from an 1865 Dictionary of Medical Terms. Physician, the word means from nature. It's from the Greek, and I cannot pronounce the Greek, which is in the thing there. This term once designated the natural philosopher. Now, a quick aside, natural philosopher is the term that we used to use for scientist. The word science only came into our language about 100 years ago. So someone who was designated a natural philosopher was just that, somebody who studied nature. But in order to understand it from that deeply philosophical point of view, which more or less is what the scientific world thinks it's doing. That's what the PhD degree is all about. A PhD, a doctor of philosophy, but now we get doctors of philosophy and, blowfish bladders and stuff like that, right? But originally, when you were a doctor of philosophy, you know who I'm talking about, don't you? Originally, when a PhD was awarded as an academic degree in an area of study, it was because the person was thought to be one who was conversant with the philosophy of chemistry or physics or whatever, right? But it's what's the word, denigrated or been denigrated to the thing where you've got to pick something that you can do your thesis on these days. But anyway, this term once designated the natural philosopher who was also the medical man. But get this, when the investigation of nature was separated from the art of healing, when the investigation of nature was separated from the art of healing, the name physician continued to designate the latter only, the former being obliged to seek some other distinctive title. And then they go on to explain that. The other distinctive title, I suppose, is the physicist. Today's natural philosopher is the physician, phys part of the title stuck with the physicist. But the other part, the part that was separated with the art of healing, or from the art of healing, left the physician with that term. So I think that's a really interesting kind of statement when you're talking about the very word that we use as physicians is to designate someone who understands nature and understands what nature is about. And I know we say that all the time, and we say this about naturopathy, and Dr. Workin just said the same thing, that this is what we need to talk about. But what are those underlying rules, and what are those underlying, what should I say, truths that we can discern?